Do you believe in the concept of work-life balance?
There's nothing like that. Something must give. When my kids were younger, my mornings, afternoon was with them. I've never missed any school activity. That's where you need people who can help you accelerate your business.
The journey to building an empire is often unconventional, requiring resilience and a clear vision. You will learn from Aderonke Bamgbade, a leader in hospitality, wine culture, and interior design, how to build brands with passion and precision. Where did the interior design part come in?
Oh my goodness. So this is my father's DNA working. I've always loved design. My dad was an architect. So I used to, growing up, I would see him sit in the studio, sketching and doing stuff and all that.
Okay.
I mean, I remember from like age 3, but I never really got to do it up until 2008.
Okay.
And like my bar activation thing, an opportunity came. I had another sister who had a friend and client that was
Thank God for
setting up.
sisters.
I know, I owe it to them completely. I had another sister. I've got another sister. She's still there, who had a friend that was trying to set up a new space. And because they know that I love to do design, I'm really good when it comes to using my hands, cutting wood and sanding wood and stuff like that. She just said, why don't you go and meet Abu? I think he's trying to furnish his space and all that. And I had this friend of mine, Tunji. So we both went together to pitch. He's a creative as well.
Okay.
And then he said, oh no, he wants to buy stuff from Italy. I'm like, it's a bit too far. Why are we going to buy stuff? So we went around and we started shopping and picking stuff and all that. And that's how I started that. But my core is actually in production. I love starting and building from scratch. I reclaim wood.
Yes, because I was going to go to that. If you visit Liquid Hub, for example, you have tree stumps, even the tables made of wood. I remember you once told a story about how you used to go to, what's this wood market called?
Amu Market, yes, I still do.
Interesting.
Even in Abuja, I go to Day Market.
Do you find it therapeutic?
Yes, it is actually. As a creative, you find so much joy, and I'm doing a space right now. I'm redoing my garden in Abuja, and it's the joy of seeing how, from conceiving that whole idea and concept and seeing how it's being put together and all laid out, I'm like, okay, this is good. You find it very therapeutic. It's a thing that you derive joy from. But I love the process of finding dead stuff and bringing them back to life. So you have people fall trees, cut down these trees, and then they chop them into pieces for firewood. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. We sell one of a round table slab now for God knows how much. And I'm like, from being a dead tree.
So you make products now.
Yeah, we do.
Oh, that's amazing.
We make product. We design spaces for people as well. We take on projects and I love renovation work. You know, how you break down a wall and just turn it into something else. I love it. It gives me joy.
So how do you find a balance? Blending these two. I wouldn't say they're separate worlds. In a way, they are separate.
Yeah.
It's hospitality. Yeah. You're entertaining people or creating a space where people get entertained.
Yeah.
Then at the same time, there's this creative part of you that's given to building. And how do you balance both?
So I think my hospitality business now, I've gotten into a place where it's enjoyment for me.
That's fair.
I do all my hard work in the day when I'm building, when either I'm at the factory or I'm seeing some of my artisans do some work, or I'm sourcing for wood, or I'm sourcing for material myself. I spend my day doing a lot of that, or sitting down, conceptualizing and all of that. And then in the evening, I'm just, okay, let's go and hang out.
You see, that's so cool.
Let's go and make people happy.
That's so cool.
Let me go and hang out with my people. So the only thing that's taking me back now is because we now have a branch in Abuja.
Okay.
That now requires my presence. Otherwise, I would do my construction, interior, market runs in the day.
Daytime getting dirty.
You will find me in Mushi, in the shorts and the boots or your trainers. I have gone, and I still have to balance that with school runs and all of that.
Amazing.
Yeah. But so in the evening, I just go in and like, okay, I mean, where's the party at?
What super women are made of. How have you been able to balance that with motherhood?
Oh, big question. We funkifying things now, saying that there's a balance between parenthood, being an entrepreneur, being a successful entrepreneur, and being a mother. I'm not sure you can really find a balance.
Thank you. Do you believe in the concept of work-life balance?
There's nothing like work. There's nothing like that. Something must give. Something must give at some point. At some point. So what will give is it will determine by how you want to structure it. There was a time in my life that when my kids were younger, my mornings, afternoon was with them. Would always be with them. I do the school runs, I drop off, I pick up, we do homework, we do all we never used to miss any school activity. And then in the evening, I don't leave till they go to bed.
Wow.
Yeah. So that's where you need people. You need good people who can help you accelerate your business and put it also on the right path. And you've built it, but you also can't do everything yourself. Yes, so business gave at that point, but the good thing is I had a trusted person that could help with my business at that particular period. As I grew older, they become very independent. So now they don't really need mommy to do homework anymore. Then you find other people also, find tutor, find teachers, find a maid. And I think I am blessed to have my mother.
Oh, amazing.
Yeah. So my mom had to leave America to come stay with me.
Wow.
And just to be there for the boys.
Wow.
So if we want to call that balance, I don't know. Because
it's support system.
My mother had to leave her comfort zone to come stay here. And then I can do other things. I can spend more time also building and expanding the business and all that. I still find a way to say, okay, yes, I dedicate this weekend. It's the boys and I. Holidays, I don't miss. Summer, I always tell people, don't look for me for 6 weeks. I'm all for the boys.
Family time.
And then I tell the boys also, okay, I've spent 6 weeks with you guys. We've gone everywhere you say you want to go. You've seen everything you want to see. I'm going back
to work.
And they understand. So I don't know if that's what people call balance. I don't know, but something must give at some point.
Yeah.
Something must give. There's nothing like work-life balance. It's either you're working or you're not.
I actually quite agree with you, especially from the perspective of we spend most of our time chasing after certain goals. It could be in career or work or whatnot. And quite frankly, everything is woven into everything. There's no human being that is all about work or all about family or about friendship or all about enjoyment. You do enjoyment for a living, but then there's a goal attached to it. So trying to find a balance within that kind of... It's almost as if you're trying to seed certain things from yourself.
To find a balance, you have to. Something have to give. So you have to tell yourself, okay, I want to build this thing. And especially if you're driven, you can't balance that.
Something is driving. So it's almost as if something innate, or in some cases external,
it's pushing you to basically do what you need to do. There are people who can start a business and they don't need to scale the business. Maybe they can find work-life balance somehow. So you're not thinking of expansion, you're not thinking of multiple places. You're just, okay, building what it is, and that's it. You're not trying to scale up. You're just fine. Whatever revenue you're making, as long as I can take care of me and take care of this, and you're okay. But if you look beyond what that small space or that small thing you're doing, and you want to scale up, you're being driven by a purpose. You're being driven by passion. You're being driven by something else. There's no way you can say, I can be contained in that small space.
Exactly.
You can't. Let me give you a classic example. When we had branches only in Lagos, it was easier.
How many branches do you have in Lagos?
2.
Okay.
It was easier because they're on the same road. They're both on remains. The boys' school was on Mekuen.
Okay.
We lived somewhere around Ikoyi as well. So everything I did was within the same geographical space. Between 8 minutes from my house to Liquid Up is 8 minutes drive. From Liquid Up to the boys' school is another 6 minutes drive. From school back home, it's another, well, with traffic on Bordelon, maybe 10 minutes. So it was easier to do that. But right now, as I speak, I have to pack my bags again and go back to Abuja. I
Now
only
you
just
scale
go
to
back on
another
Friday.
city.
So you scale up to another city. And if you're not there, so we know what happens to businesses when you're not present. Especially, I have just gotten myself burnt also. So I now shuttle between Lagos and Abuja a lot. So I leave on Mondays. I come back on Friday. So I'm missing 4 days.
With the kids.
Also missing 4 days with the business here in Lagos. So you must find a way to say, okay, guess what? If I'm not there, I must have people to help me instill the same value that I want in the kids and find support system, tutors, teachers, moms, sisters, and say, okay, please, can you help me take a look at what they're doing and all of that? And some days you start feeling guilty yourself that you're not there enough. And now because my boys are very vocal, they're like, Mommy, when are you going? I'm like, oh, I'm leaving tomorrow. I say, oh, wow, again. And then you come back and like in the evening you're packing up to go to work again.
And
so you really have to go. I know because the way I do it, we deliberate over this thing. I put it on the table and I ask myself, for the life that you want, the things that you want, if I don't do it, what's going to happen?
Yeah.
Are you happy not having those lives? They're like, oh, no. I said, and if you want those things, then this
Mommy has to work.
Mommy's got to work.
Interesting.
Yeah.
You did mention getting burnt. What challenges generally would you say you face, especially in hospitality?
In hospitality, you would have to be. Actually, in most businesses, it's just the people. Usually the people. Yeah. The people. And not even right now. Our value system is already been eroded. And
as a people,
or
within the hospitality
as a
space.
people. As a people.
Interesting.
If you ask any business person, any entrepreneur, what their biggest challenge, they'll tell you it's people. The people can make you, and the people can kill you. You can find some good people that will help you build your business. They understand what you're trying to achieve with that business. And then you find some that are just set out to kill you and kill all the hard work that you've put into the space. Sometimes they come in, yes, we get it. We want to be part of this. They come in with good drive and all that. One way or the other, they derail from that purpose.
What have you found with those kind of people? Those who seems like they understand it, they get it, they're about to run with it. What then happens?
Influence.
How do they derail?
Influence.
Influences within the business or
No, outside. It's an external influence also.
Okay.
We tend to take this old young people looking for fast way through life. We take it for granted. And we have to do better as a people. And that sort of peer pressure, external influence from what they see around and what they perceive as okay, would help one way or the other form them into a different person without them even knowing. Because that's what they see around them. You can only do little. They're with you in your space for a short period of time. You don't know the friends that they have outside. You don't know the kind of things that they are exposed to outside. You don't even know about their habits. All is their work, worst case scenario, 9-hour shift. That's all. But the external influences that they have, you wouldn't know anything about. So I'll give you a classic example. I've got a manager that I moved from Lagos to Abuja. Actually, I moved quite a few people. 2 of them stayed back. And when this guy started with me, I looked at him, I figured, super smart guy, really good guy. All you need to do is give him opportunity and he will strive. And I said to him, with what we do, with this space, you will be in touch with the movers and shakers of this country, people that matters. I mean, and that alone is a network that money can buy.
Exactly.
and you will be able to make something great out of yourself. And I said, if this is the only thing I promise you, is I will make sure that you stand in front of kings and princes of this world. And we laughed about it and all of that. And of course, he was super personable, very hardworking. He got it. He knew what we were all on to. He knew what we were doing.
Was he a new hire? You hired him from Lagos? So he's been working with you
He worked with me in Lagos for 2 years. 2 years and 6 months, yeah. And I moved them. So he got it. So when the need arose that we needed to move someone from Lagos to Abuja, I just said, there's an opportunity here for you. Come over, be the GM there and all that. And he took it on. Accommodation, vehicle, the things that you would expect and all that. What I didn't realize is he had a gambling problem.
Oh, that's a personal demon.
Yeah. He had a gambling issue. And the way our structure is also set up is we try as much as possible to not do cash involvement and all of that. The cash all policy. I try to, in your head as a business person, you're thinking you'll have a structure going for you. Something is working for you. But this guy found a way around the system, sabotaged the system, and still found a way to cheat the business and defrauded the business. During investigation, when I'm looking through all the documents and the bank statements and all that, and I saw where the money went, I wept for him.
You wept for him?
Yes, I wept for him.
Tell us a bit about that.
Yeah, because
what do you mean?
You're looking at a young man who has so much in him and so much to give. Who could smart, tall, good looking, personable.
He was full of potential.
Extremely. And then you've one thing. So from that bad habit, it moved also into drugs.
Ooh.
So you're not dealing with one demon anymore. You're dealing with two demons.
No.
And then if you ask also is the things that he sees around, it became okay. And I'm like, that the brand that he got comfortable. He got comfortable and got influenced by the society, by the things that he saw people do. Because for a lot of people, that's how to feel cool. And to belong to cool gang, you have to step up, and yield certain values to basically step in there.
Oh no.
And he did a lot of damage to the business. So actually, that's one of the reasons why I spend more time in Abuja now. Because before now, my guy understands now. When people say to you, "How is Abuja?" I'm like, I think my guys are fine. I used to say, I don't know, I think they're okay. I've got great guys there. I had to fire everyone.
Wow.
Yeah.
Everyone.
With the exception of 3 or so. I had to fire everyone and then have to restart the team again. As we speak, I'm recruiting for that team. Wow. And then when you look at that also is how do you pass that opportunity to another person? That's gone. I'm never even going to trust anyone anymore again. I'm never going to completely trust anyone because my life is so easy. I always tell people, money will never be our problem. Because what I have, I'm happy to share. As a business, I also understand that as a business, you can't hold everything to yourself.
Absolutely.
So one of the things that I do is I try to give equity to my staff, especially when they've stayed longer for a certain period.
That's interesting.
So that they have a skin in the game. The guy was due for 5% of that particular business. He's due for it in April.
Which would have been how many years in?
5 years in.
Does he understand that?
When I told him, I figured he did.
Especially the equity bit. Like he had so much at stake.
Yeah. But he got comfortable. He got influenced by external forces and he lost it.
So what are you doing to mitigate against?
So what you do is you can't get comfortable. And then you have to restructure your system. Obviously, there was a system failure also, which I take full responsibility for. Yes, there was a system failure. And also, I got comfortable trusting someone completely. That's never going to happen again. So right now, there's a whole lot of checks and balance. Look, for every role, I'm hiring 2 people. And there's
But
also
then that then
danger
costs
in that. It costs
the
more.
business
It costs,
more.
yeah, it does. It will, if my overhead, let's say, let's say 70 million naira annually, in terms of wages and remuneration for the staff, it's still better than someone stealing 286 million naira from you.
True.
You will
You're
lose
saving.
you lose some level of profitability, but it is better than having to lose it to someone else who would end up blowing it on gambling. So it's the same way people say, oh, does it not cost you a lot flying back and forth? I said, let's wrap it up. Maybe I'll spend another 24 million naira flying for the year.
In a year.
And I'm hoping that, yes, as time goes on, I will find people who would also manage it and everything. But it's still better than losing that humongous amount of money to someone else. The margin becomes smaller, profit becomes really small as well. But you can actually build and sustain the business than someone else just basically wiping both your capital and your profit.
And even the brand name.
Yes.
Even the brand name.
Because you lose brand equity also.
Yes.
Because you're like, okay, what's going on? Does that guy not work for Liquid? I'm like, yeah, it works for Liquid and all that. I'm like, and then because of the life that he was living also, he was also compromising on the brand value.
Exactly.
So it became slightly open to people that ordinarily would not have access to Liquid. Oh, you know how Liquid is.
Yeah.
You know the kind of people. Exactly. And, but then when they start rolling like that and rolling with people, they bring their friends over one way or the other.
Do you think you've found a way to hire the right kind of people? Is there a right kind of people, especially from the recruitment stage?
No, darling. No, you can't find right people. You can find people, but you'll never find a perfect thing. Right. You have to build and groom them and teach them. We're talking about formed people. It's very hard to change a formed adult. Even your teenage child, they already have their own personality. They're arguing back and forth.
The rebellion age.
They have their will, and they're strong-willed and all that. They have their opinion. Then imagine you having to hire a full-grown person. A lot of people will come in, yes, we get what you're trying to do. I'm here for you. We're going to do this together. But they lose it at the end of the day. But you still have to do your homework, and that's why you have to train. You have to tell them about your core value as a business. You have to teach them about your core value. You have to let them understand that this is what we're trying to do. So right now, I tell people when I'm recruiting, this is what we stand for. It's okay for you to say, oh, this is too much. It's too complicated. I can't do this. But don't come in and then pretending that, yes, you get it, and then you don't. Because we're going to teach you. We're going to train you. I also don't want to waste my time training and teaching you, and then we wake up one day to say, oh, I'm going, this is not what I want. You're grown enough to know that this is not the place for you. And if it's not the place for you, please by all means say it right there and there. Don't let us invest, because I actually invest my time. I do a lot of my training myself. I'm investing my time.
So it's like you're pouring yourself into people to be able to replicate.
Yeah. So because the business also can function without you. As you advance also, you can't build your business. You can't be the same person that is running and be the face of your business all the time. So you have to build capacity. And in building capacity, you have to use people to build that sort of capacity. It's finding people that you can train to be either mini you and find several mini yous to do the things that you want.
Right.
Otherwise, you can as well just go home and get a job somewhere and say, please, CEO, I have a report for you. And all. Unfortunately, some of us have been too entrepreneurial. We can't take a job anywhere anymore. We hire me.
That must be very heartbreaking, especially seeing the amount of yourself that you pour into people.
This guy in question, particularly, yes. People say to me, how do you feel? I'm like, it's the level of betrayal and the disappointment that I feel, because he would tell you that, thank you so much, ma'am. I know so much because of you. And it was a continuous thing. I'm like, and so what I said to them is, when you start having pressure, when you feel that the pressure is a bit too much, you can't go on, please come to me so we can talk about it. Because that way also I can find your help. So I had another manager who I think the work pressure became too much for him. And of course, he was dealing with his own
life
issue as
issues.
well. And then I figured he was depressed. And I said, come back to Lagos. Let me find your help. I found a shrink. I found a coach. And I said, I will bear the cost of this and all that. People also need to fight their demons the way they want to fight it. You want to fix everybody, but some people don't even want you to fix them. And he refused to go for therapy. Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
You brought him to Lagos, found him a therapist, and he refused to go to the therapist. What was his excuse?
Ego.
How will somebody be shrinking me? Wow.
Oh, why do I have to come back to Lagos? I've already done all this work in Lagos before. Why do I have to come back? I'm fine and all that.
Do you think he saw it as a demotion?
No, it wasn't. It was not supposed to be. It was, I needed you to get well. I need to make sure that you are fine. Because if you're losing your mind, even we as orgas, some days we lose our mind and you go back to yourself, where am I shrink? I need to talk to people. And it was just ego. So I had to let him go.
So he'd rather lose the job.
Yeah. Actually,
take the help.
He threatened that if I'm insisting that he should come to Lagos or you should stay in Lagos, then he'd rather go. And you can't threaten me.
Wow.
You must never threaten your boss. Because what you're saying also to them is you're indispensable or indispensable.
Yeah.
And I'm like, there's no one that is indispensable. That means that you have to remember also that these people built their brand before you're existing in that space.
Absolutely.
So they can do it with or without you. You're a great value when you're there. And do your bit and add value to what you're
As expected.
Doing. Exactly. It's not free now.
As expected.
But if you then feel that the world evolves around you or you're too good to let go, there will be 1,000,001 people that will do the exact same thing that you can do. Probably do it better.
Interesting.